First question about Mihhail Ботвинник.
Yes, what would you like to know about the patriarch?
You play against him and win.
Yes, that was a long time ago, 1966, I think, when I was 16 years old. And he came to Nottingham on a tour of the United Kingdom. And of course, that was a very special place for Ботвинник because he won the famous international tournament there in 1936, which was one of the results that established him as a real superstar, not just in the old Soviet Union, but also in the West. And of course he went on from there to become one of the greatest grandmasters in the history of chess. So it was quite a special occasion to play against him, and of course a good memory to have beaten him, even though he had to play a lot of other people at the same time.
You one of the 16 who won.
Well, in Nottingham, from my memory, there were 24 people playing, and only one person managed to defeat the maestro.
And one draw, yes?
I think there was maybe one or two draws, yes. It's a long time ago now, so, you know, the memory fades. But I do remember I was the only one to beat him. Very lucky.
And now you play chess or no?
I play chess a little bit on the ICC. Because I have a master title, I'm allowed to play for free, which is very nice, and sometimes I play against some of the modern grandmasters.
And can you tell about Keres?
Yes, I can tell about Paul Keres, another fantastic star. He, of course, was originally Estonian. And, you know, interestingly enough, I don't know if you know this about Paul, but he is distinguished because his picture appears on the currency, which is quite fantastic. But I played him in a simultaneous display in Birmingham, I think. Again, probably 1 year or 2 years after Ботвинник. And I got a very, very good position. My computer tells me it was a winning position. But of course, when you're playing a super grandmaster, you don't always win the game, and he managed to find a way to fool me.
And you won or no?
No, I didn't. I lost. Right. So yes. So one shouldn't be so surprised.
Yeah. And against short, maybe you play, or some other, maybe some Great Britain grandmasters.
Well, you know, interestingly enough, I remember by the time I had started concentrating on bridge, that there was a big bridge tournament in Brighton, and that year the British Chess Championships were in Brighton. So I thought I'd go over and have a look. And Nigel Short, who was 12 years old, had just beaten my record of being the youngest person ever to play in the British Chess Championships. And the day I went to visit, he beat the very famous English player, Dr. Jonathan Penrose, who you may remember defeated Mikhail Tal, right, in the Leipzig Olympiad in 1960, a very famous game. And Short beat Penrose, which was an absolute sensation, a 12-year-old to beat Penrose. Quite unbelievable in a way. But I never played against him. Our generations were too far apart.
Yeah, I see. And what's the record have you? You told that Short beat your record, but what kind of record you have?
Well, until he played, age 12, I was the youngest person ever to qualify for the British Chess Championship.
How old are you?
I was 16.
16.
Yes. So he beat the record.
And in what year?
1966.
1966.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now you work for Bridge in this tournament.
Yes, that's what
You don't play.
No, I've almost stopped playing now because when you have a full-time writing occupation in bridge, it's very difficult to combine the two. Obviously, I still know how to play, and on the few occasions when I get to the table, it's a real pleasure. But it's incredibly difficult to combine those two skills because to succeed at the highest level, you need to be in constant practice, not just playing occasionally.
What is more important and more difficult, to play bridge or play chess?
Well, look, you know, they're different. in the sense that in chess you're entirely on your own resources. It's up to you. But bridge, of course, you need a partner who is empathetic, who understands the way in which you think about the game. So they're different skills, right? And both incredibly difficult to master successfully.
What is more difficult for concentration? More concentrate you must in bridge or more concentrate in chess?
Well, look, you know, a tournament game in chess can last for several hours, and it's very difficult to maintain your concentration for such a long period of time. But it's not so dissimilar in bridge. A session in bridge will last for, say, 2.5, 3 hours, and that's a long time. The slightest break in concentration in bridge usually results in a disaster. Right, ask any bridge player that. And so the players who seem to do best are those who can concentrate for vast periods of time, allowing nothing else to interfere with them. They seem to make a cocoon around themselves, which nobody can break, you know, and they will concentrate right the way through. Those are the ones, because there's very little between the very best players, those are the ones who consistently rise to the top.
And you something do for the internet in this tournament, yes, it's true?
Yes, we made a bulletin here of the play on each day, and those bulletins are freely available on the internet. You just need to go to the website of the Slava Cup and you can look at or download and print the bulletins from each day's play. The final bulletin should be online very soon, maybe in half an hour later on today, so you'll have a complete record of what happened in the tournament.
What can you tell about ranking of Slava Cup in the world?
Well, you know, these days there are very few really prestigious tournaments, and the Slava Cup has become one of the tournaments in which the players hope they might receive an invitation. You know, look, we had here a fantastic event. It's very unusual for the top two players in both the Open Series and the Women's Series to compete in the same tournament. And of course we had many other world, national, European champions. So, you know, Pavel Portnoy and his committee do an amazing job here, bringing people to the capital city of Russia, a fantastic, really remarkable event with tremendous high-class play. It's a real tribute to the organisational skills of Pavel and his team, and it's certainly regarded as one of the very best events on the bridge circuit.
Okay, thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.